Welcome to episode 2 of March Malcontent. We're going to have Mewtwo against Pichu to lead us off. For anyone who's new, this is the preseason to the April Anger season we do every year. It's a tournament series involving amiibos. Amiibos such as Mewtwo and Pichu. Pichu doing a great job of just taking control of this match, hitting Mewtwo a lot, finally gets hit back. Something you may have noticed is that the amiibo do have auto heal. That is something all the amiibo are going to be having. Auto heal, it comes in two forms, at least with the spirits that you can put on amiibo. There's normal auto heal and great auto heal. Normal takes up 2 slots, great auto heal takes up 3 slots, which is all you get. It's actually worth it though to go for the greater auto heal, because unless you need to combo a form of auto heal with some other ability, by using up 1 extra slot, you get double the auto heal. Mewtwo's not going to be able to make that back. Mewtwo dies the first stock. So the percentage of auto heal is normal auto heal, you heal 2.5% every 5 seconds, whereas great auto heal, you heal 5% every 5 seconds. Which, for greater auto heal, that actually means you're healing an average of 1% per second. It just comes in 5-second bursts. I'm not exactly sure when the timer starts, but I believe it's when you actually have damage to start healing. And I'm also not sure how it interacts with, for example, when you get knocked out, you're not on the stage and you're on a floating platform. So you will see the amiibo's auto heal getting more and more desynced as the match goes on. Unless it randomly happens to resync up again, but that usually doesn't happen. All of this to say is that Pichu as a character does have self-damage as a core mechanic to the character, combined with being the lightest character in the game, makes you very fragile and very easy to kill. So you would think that the auto heal offsets it, but the values are close enough that it just kind of becomes a bonus to have, with your opponent able to rack up damage much faster than you can rack it up on yourself. You usually will just be taking a positive amount of damage. So the self-damage does matter, and it doesn't really get entirely offset by the great auto heal. Especially since when you think about it, if you didn't have the self-damage, you would be auto healing even more relatively anyway. So it is still something to consider. Pichu loves hitting the neutral special while on the platform, and Mewtwo is not, and it's just not hitting him. Dash attack is actually able to kill Mewtwo. I didn't know Pichu's dash attack could kill. Obviously, almost every attack will kill if you set the opponent to not, and that was a taunt. We do not like to see those taunts. I'm pretty sure Pichu got retrained at some point, and that's usually when I try to get them to stop taunting. I have not, as to this point, actually gone in with one of the NFC editors to edit Pichu's value of taunting to 0. I haven't done that with anyone, by the way. I don't even have an editor. NFC card editor, I mean. I also don't have a normal video editor, but that's because it's me. But that is something to know, that once an amiibo starts taunting, it is very hard to get them to stop. And you can retrain them a lot, and you may never get them to be back to 0. That being said, we've only seen the one taunt, so fingers crossed that Pichu just doesn't taunt. We always have a couple of trailing amiibo who do. They usually make it pretty far into the post-season of figuring out who's going to have to get retrained that year. But over time, we will eventually breed this out of them, kind of like a genetic algorithm. Which is effectively what training an amiibo gets to be at some point. You can influence the values, but not directly. I mean, there are a couple of direct ways to try to influence them, but if you're not doing those specifically, then they just sort of develop on their own. It does also get interesting because since amiibo react to, you know, the external stimulus and whatnot, that you could almost say that every Smash player would have kind of a fingerprint of how their amiibo are trained, as long as they're not specifically trying to manipulate the values. So I guess what I'm saying is enjoy this tournament full of me. Next match, we have Peach against Falco. Winner makes it into April Anger.
3, 2, 1, go!
Peach is a character who I always wonder if I trained her well, just because Peach as a character has a lot of different things to know as a Smash character. Obviously, all characters will function at the same level of if you know how to forward smash, if you know how to dash, stuff like that, when you should shield. But Peach with her floating ability, oh, and that's a taunt, we don't like to see those. Peach with her floating ability and it being such a massive part of who she is as a character. And that's 2 taunts. I am now really concerned for Peach. Even though she's kind of winning at the moment. With her float being such massive to how her character functions, that if you want to be good with Peach, you really have to work at it for a while. And with how many characters there are in this game, I really don't have the time to spend 300 hours with each of them. So you have to make do with what you have. I think I'm an okay Peach. I don't think I'm going to be winning the World Championship with her at any point. Or probably with any character. Just a lot of practicing you have to do in that. I want to have fun with this game still. And Peach is just getting sent up to the stratosphere a whole bunch. Yeah, Falco's just hitting her really far away. She is making it back. That is something that her float lets her do. She has amazing horizontal recovery. Vertical, not so much. She has a up special, and it works. Falco up specialing away. He still does get hit by it, though. Up tilt into quickly pivoting around and hitting an up smash. That's... If Falco was a physical player, that would be... I want to say impressive, mostly in that you can buffer it so it is a little bit easier than you might think. It's not a frame-perfect stick input. But also, if you don't absolutely have to do that, you're usually not going to go for it. Because there's always the risk that you mess it up and then you just don't hit the opponent at all. Also, usually Falco can hit you with 2 up tilts in a row, so he'll do that instead. Falco goes way low off stage. He does get punished the second time for doing that, so I guess Peach is, I want to say, adapting, or at least trying to punish that specific idiotic behavior. Peach going for an up air when Falco isn't anywhere near. And now Falco taunted. That might mean it's starting to be contagious. Maybe it's just the statistics of the taunting weights getting to me, because normally the preseason we have all the amiibo. The tournament season, there is a basic qualification of you have to have won a match. And granted, depending on how far you get into the bracket seeding, depends on how many matches you actually have to win. So some characters do kind of just slip by with only having to win once, but turns out that that kind of variation is kind of fun, as it turns out. But it does mean that once the tournament starts, you usually don't get any of the taunting amiibo left, because if they have in their move weights a tendency to stand still and do nothing, even if just for a little bit, that does come back to bite you eventually. At the very least, even if you're not getting hit out of it, oh, and there's another one, it does mean that you are not actively hitting the opponent, which is kind of an opportunity cost. And there's another one from Peach. Maybe it is contagious. It's especially infuriating because I don't really know how the taunting got in there. I don't taunt against the amiibo, like, ever. And granted, as a player, I'm not usually taunting too much anyway, especially because if you're playing online, you can't. So you just sort of forget you can do it at some point. And even then, if you do have the option to go for that, a lot of characters have something like a charge move that they can build up instead. So they actually do have something they should be doing instead of going for a needless taunt. Of course, over the years that have gone by, I've gotten more careful with how I've been training the amiibo. I've actually got a standard spirit allotment I give them, just because I'm pretty sure some of these older amiibo do have Falco with a great tech. Some of these amiibo do have a mishmash of spirits to get them to the highest level, and no one, I don't think, has ever decompiled what spirits do what, which means that, you know, some of these amiibo do just have the taunting value set higher than it normally I'd like, because of the spirits I had to give them to make them hit max level. So I've tried to standardize that to reduce it, and I think it's been working. And forward air near the edge of the screen is going to kill Peach. Falco makes it into the tournament. And here we have Cloud against Mii Swordfighter. Definitely a matchup that mentally I'm sick of seeing at this point, not because of the amiibo remotely. However, I have been playing Mii Swordfighter online recently, trying to get all the characters. I want to get everyone into Elite Smash. I just kind of haven't done it because I want to play other games too. And it takes a while at first, even though I've already got like 15 in. Anyways, I have like a stricter rule of standards than just making it in, because I feel like that you can just easily cheat that sort of thing out. Mii Swordfighter going low, making it back with assistance from Cloud. Anyways, this is all to say that I've been playing Mii Swordfighter online recently. A lot of people play Cloud. Fought a lot of Clouds as Mii Swordfighter. It's also interesting too because so the Mii Swordfighter's moves, Footstool doesn't kill Cloud. The Mii Swordfighter's moves, they were picked to be most beneficial for the amiibo. It is coincidentally also the moveset I've been using online since I already had the loadout set. And I have a whole rigmarole going on with my Mii characters that I'm not even gonna go into for this. Anyways, to get the Mii's moves picked for the amiibo, you actually have to make a Mii with them first. And I kept the Mii, because why not? I had the Mii made. And I figured I'd try to use it. And it seems to be a fine moveset. It's only 4 moves, so it's really hard to screw it up, I'd say. Mostly for the Mii's benefit, though, you have a lot of recovery. So you get the side special that goes really far, you get the up special that is kind of the most generalist one, I'd guess, with the longest reach of recovery. Yep, see, there's the side special. Oh, last hit of Cloud's Limit Break, that's gonna hurt. And you get a reflector and a projectile. The projectile that I think is probably easiest to just spam out whenever. You do want to watch out for that side B, by the way. It can and will kill you. Forward smash, that is going to kill Mii Swordfighter. Cloud almost has limit. He did get it. He did have to get hit by it. But that was actually kind of smart because it let him keep it for just a little bit longer. Using it for an up special, I don't entirely encourage. It doesn't do as much damage and doesn't kill until Hyper Sense, when any of them will kill anyway. But he did at least land the move. Forward smash, he actually gets saved by the stage transition, dropping the floor out from under him that canceled his move. Mii Swordfighter goes off stage. Goes way too early though, not able to get the edge guard. Turns out that Mii Swordfighter's neutral air is a great edge guarding move, since it puts you at a really harsh angle. It's kind of like a Joker neutral air, if you know anything about how that move works. In fact, it also uses a blade that goes in a circle, so kind of similar there. Mii Swordfighter able to dance around Cloud, but Cloud is avoiding any sort of kill move, or shielding, I guess. I can't call that avoiding. Forward smash from center stage, that's actually going to kill. Cloud is going to be making it into the tournament. And now we have Olimar against Wario. Looks like we're going to be on Battlefield. Instantly trading attacks with each other. And trading again, I don't even know what traded that time. Couldn't see. Olimar going for a lot of up smashes. I know it is a move that a lot of people hate because of... Basically, it's not as committal as most other smash attacks. And a lot of that is a result of... Since Olimar throws out the Pikmin, he doesn't actually have to wait for the Pikmin to land out on the ground and do all their recovery shenanigans. So he can throw them out faster than, for example, one Pikmin alone would be able to. And since a good Olimar is always going to have one-to-one Pikmin. Except, you know, certain times when recovering, I suppose. Wario with the down air, but he goes past the ledge, not able to get any sort of finishing hitbox, and he gets spiked by Olimar. One of the reasons you don't want to just hang out near the ledge like that. Well, you don't want to hang out off stage to start. Olimar? So Olimar recovered there. When you have Pikmin and you're recovering as Olimar, they weigh you down so you get less recovery. However, if you don't need all of the space, you get to keep all of your Pikmin instead of having to throw them away first. Which is good for a character who needs to often spend time, like just then, spending time picking out Pikmin so that you can actually attack the opponent. A lot of Olimar's moves don't work if he doesn't have a Pikmin. There, he's able to throw a Pikmin onto Wario, which is also one of the plus sides of getting rid of all your Pikmin when you need to recover. You throw them on stage, and then you get back on stage, and then your Pikmin are there. Well, Wario getting sent really far off stage. I'm not entirely sure all that went into that. Olimar recovering, he does have purple Pikmin that will weigh you down. He doesn't have any Pikmin now, so he just has to book it for the ledge. You can't see he actually recovered faster, as in he had a higher velocity getting to the ledge. Wario just got his waft and then immediately used it. That is unfortunate, especially for someone who needs to make up 2 stocks. And is already approximately halfway through your last one. Having a hard time killing Olimar. Up air on the top platform on Battlefield against a light character is still not going to kill. Wario definitely has moves that kill, like that back air. He just didn't hit Olimar, he only hit a Pikmin with it. Wow, Wario was struggling, but Olimar was able to pull out the win. And next match, we have Kirby against Lucas. Now this is Kirby Classic, as you can see by his name. We do have 2 Kirbys, so keep that in mind. Kirby Classic and Kirby Smash Brothers. He's actually the one amiibo who isn't the Smash Brothers series of amiibos. He's from the it was originally supposed to be for Kirby, I think Kirby Triple Deluxe. Maybe it was the Kirby Robobot. Maybe, if I'm feeling generous, I'll correct that on screen. Lucas, what are you doing? Getting in your laps? Anyway, so it's the Kirby series amiibo. The one where he's riding on a little warp star. Kirby trying to body block Lucas. Something to know is that if you hit something with PK Thunder when you're recovering like that, you do go less distance, so that is a strategy you can go for. However, Lucas's PK Thunder goes far enough that it's usually pretty hard for the distance he loses to prevent him from grabbing the ledge. It's a little bit easier on Ness because he gets a little bit less distance than Lucas does. The trade-off is, of course, is that when you hit people like that with Lucas, it hurts them a little bit less, but it is still a strong move. So, you know, don't start taking hits like that for free. Kirby loving this down air move. I mean, it's not like a bad move. You can, when you hit people with it on stage, you can try to hit them with something else. It is a spike. It did actually have to get buffed when Smash Ultimate originally came out, because it didn't send people anywhere. When I was playing World of Light, one of the first characters you get is Kirby, I spiked an Isabelle, I kid you not, 5 times in a row, and she still lived. I ran out of jumps. I had to recover, and then she recovered, and I felt really mad. But that was before it was buffed. It's been buffed since then. And it's not as strong as, say, Ganondorf's down air, but it does still kill people, so... Back throw. Kirby's gonna live. He even got hit by the PK Thunder. Used up all of his jumps, I think. It's always hard to count. And that is definitely gonna kill Lucas, and I was talking about that move. Like, obviously, as you saw there, it sent him low enough. It didn't send him fast enough that he immediately got launched into the blast zone. However, it did make Lucas lose just enough height that he was not able to recover. Right there, Kirby got it a down air into a down smash. Lucas air dodged onto the stage and having to grab the ledge. That worked out because it was actually faster than having to grab the ledge and then do some sort of get-up option. Lucas... Oh, he used his tether grab. I was worried he was going to try to go for his up special recovery. And gets quick forward smash off. Kirby securing that stock. Poor Kirby in all the Smash Brothers games. Ever since the first one, when he was really good, he's had to always be below average to avoid comments of favoritism. Which is sad as someone who likes Kirby. I mean, I've already revealed this match that I like him enough to have effectively house ruled in an extra Kirby amiibo. That it's a little bit sad that your character is so beloved that he has to be bad out of fairness. Well, and when I say bad, Smash Ultimate is the most balanced Smash game we've ever gotten, so no character is truly terrible. In other games, you would definitely have characters who would struggle, but in Smash Ultimate, you always have something that you can do. Stuff like down air to down smash. Kirby seems to really be liking that. Probably because he keeps hitting it. Interesting fact about Kirby and Smash Brothers, you can hear how many jumps he has left because each jump is a slightly higher pitched one than the last. Still doesn't mean that I'm good at counting how many he actually has, and it gets more complicated when you include that he has a ground jump, then every character has a double jump, but Kirby has more than just the one double jump, so how do you start counting that? Down tilt to grab, you don't usually see that off of Lucas. I mean, obviously he can and he did, but a lot of players will try to like jab out of that sort of thing. Even though down tilt is quick enough that you can sometimes get away with stuff like that. It's just not considered. Another down air! Lucas is gonna... Nope. He can't even hit himself with the PK Thunder. Kind of like how a person would. Kirby Classic wins. That means he will be making it to the tournament. And here we have Luigi against Dr. Mario. Guess now would be a good time to cover that. When I picked who would be fighting who for this year, I didn't actually pick like all previous years. I just pulled up a random number generator and gave everyone a random seed. Just a strict list from like 1 to 94. And then just put them all on the list and see how it worked out. So no, the fact that these characters are related is in fact a coincidence. Gotta watch out for Dr. Mario though. He's done pretty well in a lot of our previous tournaments. He's never won. There's only been so many victors after all. But Dr. Mario's made it pretty far on multiple occasions. Possibly a combination of him hitting hard. His recovery is a little bit better than most people think. In that his Dr. Tornado does help him get back to stage. He can still be hit out of it. So it's not a free recovery by any means. And the distance it covers is mostly horizontal, not too much vertical, but it's just enough that it works for him. Of course, if you get hit off the stage and die immediately, you don't get to use your recovery anyway. But that's also kind of one of Dr. Mario's specialties. He hits hard. His up air will kill you sideways off the stage. I'm not even kidding. It's happened a lot, even in these tournaments. Granted, Big Battlefield is a stage with larger blast zones than most. It shouldn't really be affecting this match in like a super polarizing way. But it is something to... Alright, Dr. Mario getting his paces in. Luigi goes past the ledge. Dr. Mario recovering, sometimes with the amiibo, you just gotta be sure. And killing Luigi off the side. Luigi had to release his green missile there in order to not get forward smashed by Dr. Mario. Any damage you take is damage you would prefer to not be taking. I know, we have brilliant revelations here. A couple of trades. I think those trades are actually in Dr. Mario's favor because his moves just dealt more damage. Luigi is a character who usually he starts by grabbing you and then he gets a pretty good combo off on you. A lot of his moves just naturally, or sometimes unnaturally, link into each other. So that means if in a 1-to-1 move trade ratio, Luigi's taking more damage than Dr. Mario is. It gets interesting in modes like, again, Dr. Mario's running his paces. In modes like, for example, Home Run Contest. Characters' abilities, such as how often they can land moves, really aren't useful in that mode. Obviously, having more mobility is generally useful as a character, but when you have 10 seconds to beat up on an immobile sandbag, having a high movement speed isn't nearly as valuable. Instead, you want moves that deal a lot of damage and deal a lot of damage fast. And also, they deal a lot of damage and don't send the sandbag flying too early. Starting in Brawl, they had to start giving you a little shield to keep the sandbag within bounds, but even still, a lot of characters' moves are strong enough to launch the sandbag through that shield earlier than you would hope. What's also interesting is that since they always give you a bat, a lot of characters can just deal a lot of damage by throwing the bat repeatedly at sandbag. In Smash Ultimate, the bat doesn't appear after the first couple of seconds, which is interesting because first of all, it means that you don't just throw the bat for everyone, but also it means you're not going to accidentally grab it too early. However, if you're a character who's using a couple of special moves at the end, you sometimes would prefer to be holding the bat so that you can't accidentally not grab it in time. It is a mode that is very hard to optimize until you do, and then you just kind of do that same thing a whole bunch. Which is interesting, because one of the innate, fully charged smash attack is going to kill Luigi. Dr. Mario is going to be making it into the tournament. And up next, we have Squirtle against King K. Rool. Now, I have to admit, I failed. I did it a little earlier than I normally would like to each year. I just recorded a match that I wasn't supposed to record. I have it on a spreadsheet to keep track of it, and I read it wrong. A little embarrassing, it's only the second episode. And of course, you guys aren't going to see it. I don't think there's anything in there you need to see, of course. I know that in previous years I published those matches, but I don't know how many people are going to be interested in seeing two amiibo fight when they technically weren't supposed to. I guess it's technically more data you could have, but unless someone says anything, I just don't think it's particularly worth it. I'd have to do so much editing and whatnot anyways. Does mean, though, that mentally I have to reset, because I don't remember what commentary I did not use last match. Alright, so our contenders here. We've got Squirtle and King K. Rool. King K. Rool has won the tournament before. Squirtle has not, but he's done pretty well. So this is actually going to be interesting, because okay, so one of these guys will be making it into the tournament this year, guaranteed, because whoever wins makes it in. The other character is not guaranteed to make it in, but they will still be in the running. And since these are both two strong competitors, it could be anyone. Of course, this match right now is leaning more towards King K. Rool. Charizard actually managed to avoid the propeller of the helipack to hit King K. Rool with the... King K. Rool just taunted there. He doesn't normally do that. At least I don't think. At least he did the armored taunt. And Charizard just did taunt there. Not a great sign. Squirtle has Charizard pretty behind right now. And by that I mean, you know, he's got 130% on his second stock. Maybe if he makes a couple of great reads, he can try to catch up to King K. Rool, but King K. Rool's not a character who struggles to kill. And in fact, he just hit an up air out of tumble and was able to secure the kill there. Squirtle switching to Ivysaur. Guess didn't want to spend too much time as his namesake. Getting sent off stage. Gets hit by the crown. Body blocked on recovery. Charizard has both of his jumps to make that back. Throwing out a lot of aerials. Hardly any of them are connecting. Charizard goes off, but he jumps too fast, so he didn't get enough distance to be able to land that forward air on King K. Rool. That probably would have killed, considering how far off stage they were. Down air gets hit by the neutral air, though. Flare Blitz is back to the stage. Tries to get a spike on King K. Rool. King K. Rool secures the stock with a forward air. King K. Rool will be entering April Anger 2025. And for the last match of this video, we're going to have Sora against Baytwotta, the two final DLC characters. Now you may have noticed her name is spelled differently than normal. It's Baytwotta. That's because this is the second Baytwotta amiibo. There's the Baytwotta 1 printing and the Baytwotta... Wow, she's just getting hit by all the up airs here. So there's the Baytwotta 1 amiibo, the Baytwotta 2 amiibo. They're kind of styled after Baytotta's outfit from each game, even if her outfit is mostly a haircut. For lore reasons as well. So the second one, we had to name him something. So the idea was, oh, obviously we'll call him Baytwotta 2. Well, why not Bayonet 2? It kind of rolls off the tongue, but it turns out when you spell that, her name becomes Bay12. So instead the result is Baytwotta. I guess it's confused people in the past, but we've made decisions that confuse people before without any remorse. Baytwotta with the up smash, down smash had a chance of killing. Sora's a pretty lightweight character. Kind of goes with how floaty he is. And he gets Baytwotta with a forward air combo off the side of the screen. Interestingly enough, these are the only two characters that have a triple hit forward air. And I don't mean a forward air that hits you 3 times. I mean, if you press the button again, you get an extra extension of the attack. So they are actually kind of similar in that regard. They both have long aerial combos. Though Baytotta's are because she hits you a whole bunch, and Sora's are kind of because it just kind of floats around. See, Baytwotta used the first hit of forward air there and then didn't follow it up. Now the Baytwotta amiibos have kind of had a hard time securing the kill. It's been a dilemma, because if you teach them the smash attack to get the kill, then they don't do the Baytwotta combo, which is kind of like Baytotta's thing. It's why I'm calling it the Baytwotta combo. And Baytwotta is just struggling getting hit by all these Sora up airs. Baytotta's killing aerial is usually her back air. Baytwotta doesn't seem to be using it, which probably explains why Sora still hasn't died. Forward air, she didn't go for the third one though. That one could have possibly secured the kill, so that is unfortunate for her. Finally figures out to land, and she gets the tech with an up smash. So that is a kill, but she's a stock behind and she's already taken 40%. And the Sora amiibo seems to really know how to chain the aerials together. Baytwotta goes for the... Nope, she gets part of the Baytwotta combo. She's just losing a lot of these aerial trades with Sora and getting killed by an up smash. Sora will be making it into the tournament. That's the last match of this video, so I hope you've enjoyed. Feel free to watch the other episodes. Until then, bye.